Welcome to the Educator's Spin on It, playful preschool activities about community helpers. This week on the blog, we have shown you ways that you can use role playing with your preschooler to teach them how to be safe. And this is a very, very simple thing to do that you can grab any toys that you have on hand. I have dinosaurs and dragons, and you can talk to your child about instances in which they would need to ask a community helper for help. One thing that my family's working on is what to do when you're at a store if you can't find your parent. And so we have been role playing how you would ask somebody like a security guard or a store worker how to tell them, I guess, that you need help. So in this case, our green dragon is going to be the store helper, and our stegosaurus is going to be the child. And so we talk, and I'll say, okay, we're going to pretend that these two are at the store. And the stegosaurus says, oh no, I can't find my mom. Well, the first thing I want my child to do is actually look around and say, Mom, are you here? And make an effort to find me. And if they can't, I want them to go up to a security guard or someone who works there, and I want them to say, excuse me, please. And I'm assuming the store would say, yes, what can I do to help you? And the child would say, I can't find my mommy. And of course, the store owner is going to say, well, what's your mom's name? And my preschooler says, Mommy. Yeah, that's right. Mommy is my name. And so we have been practicing that if you're lost and you need to ask for help, that you would say, my mom's name is Amanda, and tell information like that. So what we do is we take turns, and one of us is going to be the store clerk or the security guard dragon, and one of us is going to be the kid who can't find his mommy. And we're going to play it over and over again until we're maybe 3 or 4 times a different situation throughout the week, so that they know the words and maybe how it would look in, a kid-friendly way. If something actually did happen, I would hope that my kids, after practicing with toys, may be able to articulate their true needs when they are faced with a situation that they don't know what to do. They can ask. The other thing that we're really working this week with my preschooler is connecting literacy into every day. And one of the easiest ways we can do that is by making a list. And so we made a list of what a police officer does. And so we just sat down and talked about, we're learning about community helpers. Let's make a list of what the community helpers do. And so on Monday, we talked about what a police officer does. And so police officer, and then we come up with the phrase together, teaches people about the law, protects, drives a police car, solves problem, and teaches kids how to stay safe. Then on Tuesday, we might talk about a crossing guard. And on Wednesday, we might talk about the mail carrier. And we will make a list for each one. If you want to extend the literacy activity even further, you can staple all those lists together and make a community helper book that you can put in a basket with all the other books and read it together. And then the third thing that we're doing, kind of still going along with the literacy with community helpers, is I use these great things called sentence strips. And really they're just really long strips of paper. And on one side, they have lines, and the other side they just have a straight line. I have seen these at teacher supply stores, and actually we have a new Joann's in our city, and I was there and I realized that they have a whole education section in which you can buy sentence strips. So it's like, oh, that's cool. I can get my fabric and my sentence strips in the same time. If you don't have sentence strips, you can always just cut a piece of paper, and if you want it longer, you can just tape this stuff together. It doesn't have to be fancy. Anyways, with these sentence strips, I wanted to teach some sight words. And I want one sentence per strip, kind of going along the lines of making our list. I also wanted to continue with the police officer. So I'm going to focus on teaching the word and the word can and help. So you're going to see these words in every sentence strip that I make. And like I said, every day we introduced a new community helper. So in this case, a chef can help. A dentist can help. A firefighter can help. And in this case, my 4-year-old is not reading yet. As a matter of fact, he's just starting to show an interest in the sounds that the letters make. So for him, we're going to be talking about how sight words are just words that you have to memorize. Sometimes kids like to memorize based on the shape of the word or how it looks. And so everything follows the pattern of blank can help. And that way the child can start to read, and they just have to figure out what that word is in the middle, what that community helper is. In this case, it would be firefighter. And the clues I would give my child is, let's think about the community helper that starts with a f sound. Could it be police officer? Is it a police officer? And of course, preschoolers love silliness. And they would say, no, and we kind of go through that. Another clue for figuring out what this long word is a community helper that has a long name. Firefighter has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 letters, whereas dentist does not. It's a shorter one. So I would put these up in a pocket chart, or I just set them on the floor. And I let my preschooler read through the sentences. And just like you can put your list together in the book, you can also put your list together and staple them on the edges. The last thing that you can do with these sentences is you can cut them up in between the words and then have your preschooler put the words in order to build the sentence. So those are just 3 things that we've done with our community helper unit with my 4-year-old this week. If you stop by the blog, The Educator's Spin on It, for Community Helpers, a playful preschool lesson, you will find 12 plus activities that you can do with your child in the home or classroom environment, all about community helpers. Thanks for stopping by.